What's up, guys? It's Jay, MorninAfterKill, and yesterday was Super Bowl motherfucking Sunday. And for those of you out there that don't live in the good old America, and you don't know, Super Bowl Sunday is damn near a verifiable national holiday. So much so that more people call out of work in America the day after the Super Bowl than they do on New Year's. God damn. But that's mostly because jobs in America have a rule. And if you call out the day before or after a scheduled paid holiday off, yeah, your lazy ass ain't getting paid for that holiday either. Please believe that. Since the Super Bowl may be damn near a national holiday, officially, in the government's eyes, it ain't one. So, yes, you are in the clear to be that douchebag that calls out and fucks everybody else's day up. But seriously, yesterday I had some shit to do. These Q&As take a little bit longer with the gathering of the questions, the thinking of the questions, the editing of the questions. The Q&As probably take the longest to edit out of any of my videos that I make on a weekly basis. So that's why I decided, let's just hold off on it until today. I get you guys an update to the Road to 30 yesterday on Sunday. I'll upload the tales from the Borderlands in the morning today to hold you guys off while I'm working on this, and should go live barring any unforeseen YouTubular difficulties around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right when most of you guys are getting home from work or school. I figured that'd be a good plan, right? It's called time management, motherfucker! It's one of my greatest skills in life. But with all that said, we're here, it's Monday, you got the cues, it's time for me to give you some of my A's. So how this works is you guys leave a question in the comment section down below, and I'll choose a few of them, and then we'll discuss them. Sometimes at great length. But remember, without your cues, I can't give you a piece of my A. So don't forget to leave a question in the comment section down below for next week. Shit, while you're there, you go ahead and slap a thumbs up on the video too while you're at it. But enough shameless plug-in. Let's get down to the McLovin. And this week's first question is more of a comment from last week's Q&A that I'm gonna go ahead and elaborate on from Metroix and John, who want to hear the story of the worst car I've ever sold in my life. But more importantly, the only time I've ever ripped someone off on a sale purposely. So that award actually goes simultaneously to the best and worst car I've ever owned. What? Alright. My 73 Volkswagen Super Beetle. The orange trash can on wheels. Alright, this thing was literally the worst car that you can own. Even if you bought this shit brand new, it's a fucking death trap. It had no power steering, no power brakes, 4-wheel manual non-power drum brakes. It didn't even have disc brakes. No passenger side mirror. Nope. That wasn't standard yet. That was not an option that somebody sprung for on this particular death trap of a vehicle. I mean, nothing. No fucking options. No radio, no air conditioner, not even a heater. The heater on this car was a fucking lever where the emergency brake should be in the center console area between the front two seats, right? It was a fucking lever that you pull, and it opens a vent that directs heat off the fucking engine, off the fucking exhaust manifold on the engine of the car. You know, the thing that, you know, routes the poisonous gases from the interior of your motor to the outside of your car, to the back of it, that goes into the air, right? All that poisonous gas, yeah, it's gonna go ahead and take the heat. It's just radiant heat. But if you happen to have a manifold gasket leak, yeah, it's possible that you could be pumping, you know, some carbon monoxide on into your goddamn car. No wonder this thing was actually, factually designed by Hitler. That's how shitty this car was. The original Beetle was designed as a collaboration between Porsche and Hitler to create a cheap, everyday working man's car, complete with its own built-in gas chamber. Jesus Christ, Volkswagen! When did that ever seem like it was a good idea? But it was also simultaneously the best car of my life, because it was just a total blessing and a total necessity at a time when I had absolutely nothing to my name at all when I was living in California at this point. And I was faced with the possibility of being homeless with my eviction because my buddy fucked up and skipped out on the rent. So I decided to make one of the harder decisions in life. Instead of continually paying rent on an apartment that I'm going to be evicted on, I decided to say fuck it and look for a car just in case I needed to live in it. That's a harsh reality to face. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to pay my rent. I'm going to buy a car and I'm possibly going to have to live in it. Right. Thankfully, this was out in the Bay Area of California, so, I mean, the weather's typically pretty nice. It's not like I'm going to be shivering my ass off like I was in Jersey and, you know, freezing to death on the side of the road like some people do. But, my boy Sheezy Part Shizzle, I met out there in California. His grandpop heard about my situation, and, you know, they were working on this Super Beetle that they were, you know, just fixing up, and, you know, he wanted to help me out. So he hooked me up with the car on the low. It had a fresh rebuilt motor, ran like a champ, and he gave it to me for a few $100 because, you know, the guy knew that I was coming on hard times, and, you know, they didn't have any way else to help me except, you know, give me a little bit of break in life. I'm forever fucking grateful, Sheezy Parshizzle and his fucking awesome family, for doing that shit for me. But, however, as far as cars go, it was still a fucking crap box. When I finally got back onto my feet, though, and I decided to go ahead and sell it, honestly, I'm not proud of this at all when I did decide to sell it, but the car had one flaw. Well, it had a lot of flaws, but I mean, mechanically, it had one flaw. And that's when you put it in reverse, it reversed! But oh my god, it reversed with the worst sound you've ever heard. It would grind gears in reverse. Like when you go ahead and fucking let that clutch out, it's like it would reverse like a champ. It just, oh, it was the worst sound you ever heard. You knew that gear wasn't gonna be lasting much longer. So I would always try, while driving it, to, like, if I was in a parking lot, I would drive in the back of the parking lot. When I would park, I would pull through the parking spot, so I'd minimize the amount I actually had to put the car in reverse. And, you know, it was a really light car, so if I really needed to put it in reverse, I could just hop out and fucking put it in neutral and roll it the fuck back. But, yeah. I didn't want the dudes that were coming to look at it to know that it did that, because obviously, well, nobody want to buy a car. It sounds like the transmission's on the way out. Even though it's only one gear, it's reverse, it's not that big of a deal. To most people, reverse is a big deal. To me, it's not. To me, reverse ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. So, before these dudes come to look at it, I back it into the parking spot on the cul-de-sac behind the house. So, when they come to look at it, and they took it on a test drive, they wouldn't actually have to put it in reverse until they've come back, parked, and bought the car. I know, it's fucked up. I probably would feel a lot worse than I do about it now, but I mean, honestly, considering that these dudes that came, they were like the crunchiest ass, hippiest ass hipsters straight out of San Francisco. This isn't even a cliche. This is their motherfucker's life. They're about it. And, you know, didn't really feel bad at that point, especially when they pulled up and the first thing he said is like, oh yeah, my friend, he just wants a car that gets really good gas mileage, but, you know, the Prius is too new for him. He wants something vintage, and, you know, I think the Beetle is right up his alley. Bitch! I know it was right up his alley about 15 minutes ago. It was probably your dick. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Still funny, though. So, I was like, yeah, I got the most vintage-ass reverse gear you've ever seen, son. But it worked. The plan worked. They took it out for the ride. I went along, you know, I sat in the fucking passenger seat, made sure that the wires from the radio that wasn't there didn't touch any metal, because sometimes if that happens, they spark. I told you, it's just a fucking crap eyes. But they took it back, they drove it, parked it, no reverse, nothing. And they were like, yeah, they hand me the cash, they bought the car, I made them sign a 9-page safety waiver. That's right. Before they came, I went to the library and I printed out a 9-page safety waiver out of one of the law books before I sold the car in case they died in it. On the way back. Such a fucking crap. And as soon as they signed and paid for it, I gave my boy the old on the fucking chest and was like, let's go. He's like, what? I was like, let's go. I was like, just keep walking. Don't look back. Don't break stride. Because he knew it was going to happen too. He knew about the reverse gear. He's been in that car plenty of fucking times. He was like, just keep walking. Don't look back. Don't hesitate when it happens. Don't break stride. Just keep going. And sure enough, oh my god! As soon as we got out of sight, we just started busting, laughing our asses off. Absolutely, fucking hilarious. And like I said, I would feel a lot worse about it today, but they were super fucking pretentious, smug ass hipsters. And to make it matters worse, they never switched the registration over for a few months, and they got a ton of tickets in my name. I went to the DMV, I showed him, I was like, I have a 9-page safety waiver as proof of sale. The dude at the DMV was like, how big of a fucking shitbox was this Beetle? That you made somebody fucking sign a 9-fucking-page safety waiver. Oh shit. That's good fucking times. And yeah, we made sure that those tickets went with the rightful owner and belonger of this 73 Super Beetle. And the next question comes from Skies Gaming, who wants to know if it feels strange having a teenage son who could look up your vidges and know all about your life. What would I do if that happened? right. Well, first of all, how about we apply a little bit of mathematical theory to this question? I want to simplify the equation just a little bit and say, yes! Yes, it does feel strange having a teenage son. Especially when your kid is, like I said before, he's almost an immediate clone of me. It really gives you a lot of perspective on life and how this whole thing works. But it's weird when I sit there and I'm watching him grow over the years, and it's like watching myself grow up all over again. And I can see why grandparents are so eager for their children to have more kids, because it's just like, oh my god, you get to experience your life all over again through these amazing little people that grew from a bunch of goo inside of your testicles. So yeah, overall, like, having a teenage son is pretty fucking weird in those regards. However, the whole YouTube thing, honestly, I know this is gonna sound weird to a lot of you guys, but it's never really been an issue between me and my son. I mean, if you look at it this way, my son is 13 years old this year, and I've been doing YouTube for about, what, 5 years. This April will be my 5-year anniversary of my first commentary ever on my channel. Jesus Christ. Really can't believe it's actually been that long. But my son, you know, being 13, that means when I started doing this, he was 7. So it's never really been a big deal to him. It's just always been like, oh, hey, yeah, that's my dad. It's his channel. It's what he does. But a few weeks ago, you know, like I told you guys that my son had a shock when he was watching one of his favorite YouTubers, and he went and looked at my channel, and he was like, wait a minute, your channel's bigger than his? You get more views than him? And I was like, it ain't no thing. But it was a funny moment, you know, between me and my son. You know, he started looking at me a little bit different light ever since then, and you know, he's been taking a little bit more interest in my channel and social media. But you know, I don't really ever worry about my son finding anything I've uploaded on my channel. Everything I've uploaded on my channel is my life. It's the truth. If my son ever wanted to know anything about me at all he has to do is come up and fucking ask me. I've never been one to lie to my son at all. I mean, even when it came down to things like Santa Claus, I let his mother do the whole, you know, Christmas tree, Santa, family thing, because they like doing the whole family thing. I'm not really big on family, and, you know, every child should have a little bit of magic growing up. But when it came time for him to come to my house, I let him know, listen up, you little fuck. Santa comes to your house, because that's where you live. Santa's not dumb. Doesn't deliver twice to the same kid. You see them presents over there under them tree? Yeah, your dad bought them because he loves you. You know, so if my son watched something on my road to 30 and he had any questions about it, he knows all he has to do is just come up and be like, yo, what's up with that? But he most likely won't, because my son already knows about my past. He knows the people that I grew up with in the hood. I mean, this is my life. He's my son. He knows where I've been. He knows that there's no secrets between me and him. And honestly, I'd rather hear my son hear about how shitty the world can be from my videos, rather than have to go through and make the same fucking mistakes I make my goddamn self. So, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. And since we've gone on quite a bit on those two awesome questions, we come to the last question from Carter Lotz, who wants to know what a mental hospital is like because his girlfriend and best friends were both sent to one, and he has no idea when they're coming back. I know I shouldn't be laughing at that question, but as a person who spent a good 3 to 4 weeks in a crisis center when I was younger, like, seriously, I'm not actually joking about that. Like, you know, when people in the hospital, they say, don't go to the top floor, that's where the crazy people are. Yeah, that's actually true. That's why I was laughing, because I was there for a few weeks. But I'll tell you the truth, it's honestly, it's not so bad. Most mental hospitals are sort of like mini vacations for poor people. I mean, you got TV, there's activities, group activities if you want. Usually there's a ping pong or foosball table somewhere in the facility. You can order anything you want off the menu for breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you want 5 fucking chocolate milks for lunch, guess what, motherfucker? You're getting 5 chocolate fucking milks for lunch. And they're gonna deliver it with a smile and a thumbs motherfucker up. It's not that bad at all. But there is a catch. For the most part, when someone goes to a crisis center or a mental hospital, majority of the times it's against their will. And yo ass ain't leaving until they damn well say that you are good and ready to leave. No ifs, ands, buts, or motherfucking coconuts. So, while you shouldn't really be too worried or concerned for your friends, you know, most people working in mental health facilities are actually really nice and really caring. Until you try to leave. So, I can't say when they'll be back any more than you can. Shit, I can't be confident that they'll be back anytime soon. But for now, you should be happy knowing that they're in a safe, secure facility, being cared for, and are generally in no danger to themselves or others while they're committed to the crisis center. And I mean, if you want to be a good friend, you want to go the extra mile, you know, you can go ahead and contact their family and try to find out, you know, where they get their mail or if they're allowed any visitors. I'm sure they'd appreciate hearing from a familiar face in a time of need. But remember, don't treat them any differently, you know. Most people in mental health care, they're not crazy. They're not insane. They're not gonna go on Nicolas Cage, not the bees on you. They're broken people. They're fragile people. For whatever reason, whether it be physical or through outsider influence, they just couldn't function anymore in life when they were asked to, and it's up to the doctors to figure out why and how to put those pieces, the Humpty Dumpty, back together. So, my name is Jay. What did I have to kill? I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you could leave a thumbs up on the video, I'd highly appreciate it because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. But I can't stress this enough. Don't forget to leave a question for next week in the comment section down below. This is a subscriber-oriented and driven series. Without your participation, there's no cues for me to A. So make sure you leave a question in the comment section down below, and maybe next week I'll be answering it. And stranger things have happened. Like dumb-ass hipsters buying a car without putting it in... Who the fuck buys a car without putting it in every gear? I don't even feel bad on that one, honestly. Not one bit. So, my name's Jay. MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys later.